when you zoom in a bit to some of the songs, he has written a text there to describe exactly his thought process behind that song. He made reference to the fact that when he released his first song, Bandana from Ghana, a lot of the pundits today or a lot of the bloggers today were nowhere. Someone can argue from the side that, oh, we are nowhere, but there's record also, and we've been able to adapt ourselves to the trends of today, and so we may be educated in fields to be able to comment on some of the things. Yes, you can comment, but you cannot necessarily criticize, like the way we see in Ghana, the way they go at Shatta Wale. You can't criticize a building if you don't know the blueprint, if you don't know the architectural plan of the building. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Modine, and I'm back again with another video. Let's get straight to it. So I'm titling this video, Shatta Wale is not a celebrity, and I want to break a few things down for you guys to understand something where my thought process is. Shatta Wale did a long video on TikTok. I was screen recording it, but for some weird reason I lost all the footages, and so I couldn't post it. I wanted to show some things, but sadly I couldn't post it. So we are just going to go with the raw vibes, right? We keep saying we have celebrities in Ghana. Yes, we do have celebrities in Ghana, those who want to be celebrities. But having paid attention to Shatta Wale's brand for a long time, I have come to the realization that we keep putting him in a box he doesn't belong to. Shatta Wale is neither a megastar, a superstar, or a celebrity. Neither is he a legend. Shatta Wale is just Shatta Wale. This is my reasoning. Now, when you look at one thing Shatta Wale has been trying to teach us, or people who follow him, it is about the know thyself spirit. Know thyself spirit. You have an industry where a lot of people try to follow a specific blueprint. Now, the blueprints that they follow has certain milestones one has to achieve to know that they are actually progressing, right? This has created a lot of prisoners, and if you want to talk about creative people, they are one of those people who are not supposed to be prisoners at all. They are supposed to be free. Now, don't get me twisted. When you are confined in ideas, you are confined in your movements and how your creativity is dictated, you don't necessarily have to be in Insawan prisons or any official prison. You are a prisoner because your very essence, which is the creativity, has a lot of guidelines and you have to go. That is why most people in record labels, very creative people in record labels, do not survive it. You know, they find it difficult to play in such environment. And so Shatta Wale is indeed not a celebrity. He doesn't belong to any of these facets, because one thing Shatta Wale has been able to do consistently is be himself, which a lot of artists or a lot of creatives are not able to do. One person who has been able to also be free is One Love the Kobolo, right? Different spectrum. One Love is a very creative person, very intelligent, free-spirited person. And when you watch the bit he did with Mensa, Cause of Money, you will understand the depth of his creativity. And that, for me, I think is just 5 or 10% of what he can truly offer. But being in the space we are and the limitations that surround us, sometimes you can dream, but you cannot let everything materialize, right? And so when you look at it from that angle, this is one of the core reasons why Shatta Wale has been able to reach the success level he has attained right now, simply because he doesn't follow the blueprint of the industry, so to say. And Shatta Wale is one person who knows himself very well. And yesterday in the TikTok live thing he did, he kept on saying that no one controls him. He's in charge of his own affairs, right? And being in charge of his own affairs simply means that he understands the journey, he understands where he wants to be as a person, and he knows what will work for him and what will not work for him. And so anybody he chooses to work with is essentially trying to help him get to that point, but they have to listen to him because he understands the vision better. You understand? And I think most of the SM fans, including myself, about 90% of us do not even understand exactly what Shatta Wale is trying to teach us. You see, if you're a young artist out there or you're a young person out there who is trying to make it for yourself, yes, Shatta Wale talks about hard work. Shatta Wale talks about going out there and hustle and trying to make the best out of life and all that, but that is not the main key. The main key is first to understand who you are as a person. Be able to come out of the shell and understand what you are capable of. It is only when you are sure of what you are supposed to be or what you are capable of or who you are as a person that you can actually flourish in whatever way. So the only blueprint Shatta Wale is laying for us to see is the art of discovering yourself. I don't know if you guys are getting what I'm saying. So once you understand who you are and you operate in your likeliness, right? Or you operate in the self, then you will be able to attain any height you want to. Because he tried to show that you can achieve greater success by just understanding what it is that is in you. And I think that is the point a lot of us are missing. We have a lot of people out there today who are under illusion of freedom, but they are actually in the state of imprisonment. Most of our media men, most of our people in the creative space and all that kind of stuff, a lot of them feel that they wake up every single day to go to work and they have the choice of where they want to live and everything else. But the truth is that it is a prison. In fact, someone who is in the prison who doesn't have to think about food and whatnot is even free than we can think. Now the fact that you wake up every morning to go to a particular job where you know in your hearts of hearts that you are not happy with, a place that you are only praying that the time just is over so you can go home, every single day you go through that stress of there we go again, there we go again, what am I doing with my life right here? It simply means you are not happy and you are not free. True freedom actually starts from you knowing yourself and knowing and creating a space to thrive in. And I think that is the biggest takeaway I took from Shatta Wale's life. He spoke about a lot of things, but that was the moment I got to deeply understand that we are missing a lot of stuff. Now, I know a lot of people watch those type of lives and they want to go with anything they want to go with. But I thought of this and I decided not to keep it to myself because you all know for a long time, anytime Shatta Wale comes live or he writes on his Facebook walls and all that kind of stuff, he keeps stating that you have to know thyself, know thyself, know thyself. Hence, the reason why Shatta Wale would write the rules in SM. He says rule number one, Shatta Wale is always right. If you don't understand one, you go to point two. If you don't understand one, refer to one. Like all the rules is just coming back to Shatta Wale is always right. And indeed, he is always right because he is the only person who truly understands himself and knows the journey he is on and where he is headed. And so, if you truly understand your space and how you operate, you will never be offended by someone else. You understand what I mean? Shatta Wale understands clearly what he's doing, the path, what he sees, where he sees himself going and what he's doing. He's living his dream. He's living his reality. That is the Shatta space that he has created for himself because he understands himself. Now, If you sit somewhere and saying that he should have done this the other way, he should have done that better, he should have done that, you can say all what you can, but that thing you're saying will mean nothing if you don't understand the original blueprint. And so it makes sense for us to look into ourselves and to understand that, yo, this is what I understand about myself. This is what I can do to make my environment better. This is what I can do to foster myself into the next realities of success or whatever it is that will bring the most impact. And so we need to come to that realization. And from there, I think a lot will change. I think this is one of the bases where a lot of people are saying a lot of things about the brand Shatta Wale, and they are not even capitalizing on the most important things for themselves. You understand? Shatta Wale dropped a lot of songs over, I think yesterday, about 9 songs in total. Now, I took time and listened to almost all the tracks. Now, one of the things that I know a lot of people might not have noticed is that when you look at the thumbnails, right, to all the songs that he released, when you zoom in a bit, to some of the songs, he has written a text there to describe exactly his thought process behind that song. And in one of the songs that he sang, I think the Abongo song, right, he made reference to the fact that when he released his first song, Bandana from Ghana, a lot of the pundits today or a lot of the bloggers today were nowhere. You understand? Someone can argue from the side that, oh, we are nowhere, but there's record also, and we've been able to adapt ourselves to the trends of today. And so, yes, we may be educated in fields to be able to comment on some of the things. Yes, you can comment. No one is stopping you from commenting, but you cannot necessarily criticize like the way we see in Ghana, the way they go at Shatta Wale. You can't criticize a building if you don't know the blueprint, if you don't know the architectural plan of the building. Because for all you know, that is what the intention or the visualization of that building you see that you think is wrong is supposed to be. For all you know, that is what it's supposed to be. Structurally, there may be things an architect, someone who understands the building design frame and everything else that surrounds it. And so when if you pay attention, when people who actually have depth in this music thing and who have longevity on their hands as well, and with their wealth of experience, that's what I mean with longevity, when they say something that actually addresses Shatta Wale's music, he doesn't come attacking them. He doesn't at all. But you have people who, when Shatta Wale released his song in 2004, were actually in primary school, and today they think by virtue of internet and all this kind of stuff, it has catapulted them and given them a voice to be able to talk about certain things. The fact that you have numbers and people like your personality doesn't give you that how do you call it, authority to thrash anybody's work in the first place. And so listening to Shatta Wale yesterday, there were a lot of things one can pick from it. I mean, you can go in there. I love listening to that man because when I listen to him, I just don't listen to him with the typical ears everybody will listen to. Some go in there for the controversies, which a lot of the times people are looking out for. A lot of the people also go in there to sort of like get some bits of shots here and there for other people. And some go there just for the fun of it, the thrill, and for the fact that they love him and they just want to listen to him and all that kind of stuff. So whether you are an SM fan or not, and you're watching this video today, I want you to take one thing away with you, and that is know thyself. The whole Shatta movement brand is about knowing yourself. And if you've seen the example he has lived right from 2004 till date, his story should tell you that once you've been able to identify yourself, you can accelerate faster than what people think. There is nothing like delay anymore. So it is important to take your time to have a deep dive into who you are as a person. And that is going to foster your next moves. This, for me, is what Shatta Wale and Shatta movement truly stands for, and what a lot of people must start seeing. My name is Modine. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Like always, peace out.